There are so many things in our homes that just end up in landfill, and we could be using them in the garden, around the house, and the fruit, the vegetables, even in my case, the local native birds all benefit from me recycling things here. G'day everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you a whole bunch of ways that I reuse, recycle, reduce and repair. All of these because it's going to be Earth Day 2023 on April 22nd. Thanks. I'm actually making this video as a part of a collaboration that's been organised by Dale from 9 Acre Family Farms and Blue from Blue Self-Reliance. Now I do encourage you to check out my description down below after my video, because there's a whole bunch of channels that have come together and they're doing the same thing as me. So please, after my video, go down to the description and check out all the other channels. And of course, thanks to Dale and Blue for hosting such a great collaboration. One thing I really like to reuse and try to repurpose and reuse are pallets. Pallets are so good to get free wood. Hopefully it's been treated properly, and what you can do is you can actually look at stamps that are stamped on the pallets, and they'll give you indicators of being heat treated and hopefully no nasty chemicals have been used, and they give you a really good indication of whether it's safe or not to use the pallets. Those indicators vary in different countries, so do look up all the different indicators, the different lettering and things like that you need to look for that's appropriate in your area, and then you should be good to go. But yes, pallets. As you can see here, I've got a really nice solid raised garden bed. This is one of quite a few that I've actually made over time, and it's so good to just get that wood and repurpose it. And then I actually line them with builder's plastic, which I've repurposed or reused. And when we built our house a number of years ago, there was a massive roll of black builder's plastic. So I made sure I kept that because I knew that I'd be using that in the garden somewhere. Sure enough, here it is, and it's in garden beds here, there, everywhere around the yard. It's really good stuff. I'm seriously too old to be getting on the ground and doing this type of thing, but check it out. Pallet wood again, simply nailed together. This one here, I don't know, it must be about 4 or 5 years old. Still holding its shape. It's a little bit warped, but oh my gosh, it served me well. And of course, it's lined with that black plastic. As you can see, pallets are great for compost bays. I've got a 2-bay system here. I've got a little door here as well that I can use just to remove to get in and out of my compost. I've been able to do things such as making chicken coops, or most of a chicken coop out of pallets, and then going over and making planters and having planters for fresh herbs. And in this case, I've got chili peppers, and there's a little 10-minute job planter made from pallet wood again, and that housed those succulents very nicely, and that's probably a good few years old now and still going strong. And yes, I am leaning off camera holding a dog that's trying to get in the shot. Aren't you, Loop? Hi, Loop. When my house was built, they used this colour bond as my roof, and they make great raised garden bed walls. Really good. These ones here, these are about probably 5 years old, going strong. There's nothing wrong with them. They are so solid. This chicken coop that you see behind me, it's 100% recycled materials again. You've got the nesting box all the way down there. That's part of old kids' bedding where I think I bought maybe hinges for a couple of dollars, and the main structure here, the triangle structure, is the old swing set that the kids had years ago and totally grew out of. So we just got that, and there was chicken wire lying around and other bits of heavier wire that we've reinforced the base with. Bricks, house bricks from when the house was built. We've dug a trench around it and we've dropped in bricks into the ground to stop animals from burrowing down into the chicken coop. The back section that you can't really see properly here, that's just pallets. I just got a whole bunch of pallet wood and made a great big box. I've made a structure here where the chickens can walk up and they can roost at night and just rest whenever they want. And here we've got a nesting box that, again, I use bits and pieces of the bed and made like a shelving area that they can either roost on next to it, or they can actually go into the nesting box. And there's actually one in there now, and I won't disturb her. I've left this a bit too late, so I apologise for the artificial light, but I really need to get this done. I'm running out of time. Like bottles, for instance. I've got soft drink bottles where I've got little attachments and I can water, if I hold that correctly, I can water with them. And I've got other ones sitting around the yard where they're a slow drip system where you turn them upside down and they just slowly drip. Obviously not like that, but they're really good if you're going away on a holiday or something like that. And your containers, your old bottles I should say, are really good for things like that. Paper bags from shopping, they're a great idea to keep because you can either tear them up and put them into your compost or put them into your worm farm. And my preference here is keeping them and saving them for when collecting seed. So that's all celery seed. I've got 2 bags like that. And I just let my celery go to seed, let it dry out a bit, pop it into these bags, and I'm just letting it dry naturally in the bags. And then I've got myself a massive amount of celery seed and these paper bags. Plastic drinkware. I can't stand these sorts of things. They're so wasteful. They're a one-use product and some of them don't break down. And if they do, they take forever. But whatever. They're not good. So you can obviously grow seedlings in them and start off your plants that way. And also you can turn them over and you can put them on top of plants and protect them in the garden. They're also like a little greenhouse as well, especially these clear ones. They're going to let the sun in. So yeah, I'll try and get what I can out of them and really make the manufacturing of them worthwhile. Another one is sponges and bits of foam. Here, for instance, this is some pillow that the dog chewed up from her bed, and rather than throw this away, this is great for putting in the bottom of pots. Put it into the bottom of the pot. It does 2 things. 1, it soaks up moisture and keeps moisture down the bottom of the pot. 2, it's a space filler. I can get a shallow rooted plant, put a shallow rooted plant into here, and I'm only filling up soil halfway along the pot, and then I'm saving on soil for half a pot every single time just by filling it with this stuff here. Good stuff. Toilet rolls. Toilet rolls are great. Here I've got celery. There's 3 celery there. And all I did was I got 3 toilet rolls, pop them in a pot about halfway with soil, put them in, put soil in them. There you go. Reuse these. And the beauty of the toilet rolls is that because they're constantly getting wet, they're slowly starting to break down. So you can pretty much take these and pop them directly into the ground if you wanted to, and they'll just disintegrate, rot away, and they're a paper material, so no harm done, and eventually it's good for the soil. Jars. I'm always keeping jars for my preserving, but they're also great too for trying to get plants to root. If you're propagating plants, these slips here from sweet potato, for instance, look at that. Just pop them in the jar of water and look at those beautiful roots. How good is that? Speaking of sweet potato, I'll take a meat tray when we buy, say, chicken or meat from the supermarket. Wash them out, sterilise them, make sure they're clean, fill them with soil, lay down a sweet potato or 2, and look at that. Eventually, they'll set out their little bits of growth. They'll start growing these beautiful shoots. Sweet potato slips, free. You can't go wrong. Meat trays again. Look at this. I've got 4 cells. Pop them into the meat tray. I've got 8 cells per meat tray. That collects the water, so it keeps my soil nice and moist every single time. Can't go wrong with these. Container lids and plates. I like to keep these ones with the lips because they're a good water reservoir for sitting your pots. So for instance, these types of lids and kids' plates, old kids' plates, look at that. They're like a saucer. Grab yourself a pot, put it on the plate like that. When you water it, the water's staying inside the plate, and that's going to slowly wick up into the soil and keep the soil moist rather than wasting water. And especially if you've, say, fertilised that water with a liquid fertiliser, you don't want it washing all the way through then just going out onto the ground. It'll catch in here, stay in there, and go back into the plant. This mini greenhouse that I've got here, take an egg carton, load up the egg carton with soil, plant your seedlings, and then there you go. In no time at all, you're going to be growing nice little baby plants in the egg carton. And of course, it's in the base of this little greenhouse here. That's going to collect water. The carton is going to absorb moisture, keep the soil moist. Pop the lid on. There you go. Reusing an egg carton for something different, such as growing plants. This was the door off an old, I don't know, display unit or something like that. And I got it, reinforced the back of it with a bit of old wood, scrap wood that was laying around. And that now is a sieve for my compost for when I make potting mixes and I want a finer grade sort of soil. I've got another one, a bigger scale one that I've used, and that's good for out in the yard when I'm getting the compost, the raw compost, and pushing it through and breaking it up. If I have some soil, I can break the soil and get all the lumps out of it. This has been such a handy sieve. Again, free, just old furniture. There are so many things in our homes that just end up in landfill, and we could be using them in the garden, around the house, and the fruit, the vegetables, even in my case, the local native birds all benefit from me recycling things here. There really is too many things to show you in this video. Okay, so I'm back inside, and I just really wanted to emphasize that the 4 R's, all 4 of them really are so important because there's so much waste. It's just ridiculous, and we can all do our part. And I don't want to go all preachy on you, but it's Earth Day today, if you're watching this on the day the video comes out, and it's so important that we'll, try and do our bit. And we can't be perfect, but we can at least try. And if we all try, who knows, it's got to be better than where we are at the moment. Well, the sun is just about to set behind the trees over here, which means I'm running out of light. Thank you very much for being here. Do check out the other videos in the collaboration in the description down below. I'll leave another video link here to another one of my videos. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye for now.